So far so good with our project here. Now the next thing that we will do is to add a room once we create a hotel. So we'll add a button here that will open a model, and then we'll use that model to create a room. So first things first, we can create a hotel again here, and I want to allow like uploading bigger images. So one way you can do that is to go to API, uploading core.ts, then you'll just increase the size here, and I'll say 10 MBs. Okay, these components, okay, we can say 8 MB, and I'll go ahead and save that. Okay, so now I'll be able to upload bigger images. If we refresh, I think these should update to 8, and it does. So now at the very top, I'll create an example hotel here. So since I had already like deleted the previous one, so we'll create a new one. I'll click on all of these because when I want to show more details about this hotel or about the hotels, I want to have an example where I can see all amenities, how they are. Then I'll choose now a hotel here. This one look nice. We have the ocean view there. Then I'll come here, we select the country. So I'll let this complete uploading. Then we'll go ahead and create the hotel. When the image is uploading, we can like disable create hotel. That is a thing that you can do. So I'll just create the hotel here, and once hotel is created, you'll see we will push the user right here, and now we have view hotel and we have this delete hotel, and now this has changed to update. So we want to add another button here that will say add a room, and also once we create a hotel and we don't have any room, we can add a message right here to tell the user like they need to add a room. Okay, so we can start with that message. So back right here, we will do that before our buttons. So you scroll up to the very bottom, and we have these div which have our buttons. So this is the place that we need to display an alert. So for this alert, let's go to Shadcn. We will search for alert. It will look like this. So we need to install it. So I'll copy that one, npm. Then I'll come back right here, pop the terminal, and I can actually stop the Prisma Studio. Control C, and I'll install alert. Then I can come back again and I can see the code. So I can click on code here, and the alert will look like this. Very nice. So I'll just copy that real quick. Then I come back here, and before I paste it, I'll check if I actually have a hotel, and I'll also check hotel.rooms.rent. So if we have a hotel and we don't have rooms, we'll go ahead and show an alert. So right here, I'll now paste. I go ahead and save. I can come here and copy the imports. Then I'll come back, and at the very top, I'll just paste. We have this terminal. This is an icon, so I can import it from Lucid React like that. And now we don't have any error. I save, and if we come to the browser here, we should be seeing that. Let me refresh. We should be seeing that alert, and we have it here. So I want us to customize it so that it's much more visible at the class name here. I'll give it color white, and I'll say here stroke hyphen white. Very nice. Then at alert here, we'll give it a background color. So I'll say class name, and we'll say bg hyphen indigo, then space text can be more bright, so I'll say text white. Okay, very nice. Then for the title, we can say one last step, and then for the description, your hotel was created successfully. Then we can show an emoji. Fire emoji is nice. Then right here, I'll add a div, and we'll say please add some rooms to complete your hotel setup. Okay, just like that. And I save that now. We come back and this message should look a bit nicer, and it doesn't. So the background color is missing something. We'll say hyphen 500, or rather 600, and I'll go ahead and save that now. And there we go. So you can choose any color. I went with this color because even our logo has that purplish or bluish color, which is nice. So once we create a hotel, we'll be seeing this message, which is good. Now let's add a button. So we will add the button after the view button, where we have view here, and we'll do it here. Now this button will be kind of unique because it will be used to open a model, and Shadcn calls the model the dialog. We'll go back here and I'll go to Shadcn and I'll search for dialog. So we have alert dialog and dialog. I'll go with dialog, and we want a button like this, and when we click it will open this dialog like that. We need to install some stuff. We will add dialog. I copy that, I come back here, and we basically install it. I paste and I hit enter. So once it's done, I can actually come back to Shadcn, and from here we'll need to import all this: dialog, dialog content, dialog description, header, title, and trigger. So I'll go ahead and copy that. I'll come back, go to the very top of this file, and I'll paste it here. I told you this file will be huge because we have a lot of stuff that we are doing. So right here, I'll copy this code for the dialog, and I'll come back and I'll paste it here. I'll go ahead and save just to auto format that. Then we'll be able to customize this. So first things first is that for this particular dialog, I want it to be there only when we have an existing hotel. So I'll say hotel and then our dialog should be there now. So I can just remove that section, then include my curly brackets at the bottom here. Okay, so now we have this. We show the dialog only when we have the hotel. This one we will say add room. So for the trigger here, we'll actually make it to be a button. So right here, let's add the button component, just like that. We'll say add room, and right here we will include an icon, which is the plus icon. I'll add a class name to this icon. We'll say margin to the right 2, then height of 4 and width of 4. Okay, very nice. I go ahead and save that. Then right here at the dialog title, add a room. Then for this plus, we make sure we import it from Lucid React. And for the description, add details about a room in your hotel. We have that basic setup. Let's save and see if it works. So we should mark it as type of button so that it doesn't submit the form. These are hydration errors from Clerk, so you can just ignore them. What we need to do now is to come here for this button. Let's give it a type of button. By default it's type submit, so it will try to submit the form, and we don't want that. We just want it to open the dialog. So right here we'll have a variant outline, and finally we can add a class name. We can give it like a max width, so I'll say max hyphen width 150 px will do, and I go ahead and save. Now if I come back here, this should change to this variant, which is cool, and when I click on it, look, we are able to open this dialog, and then we'll use this to add the form here for adding a room. Once we add a room, we will be needing to close this dialog, and there is no direct way of doing it, but we still have a way. So I want us to set that up first. Okay, so we just need some state, and we control the opening and the closing of the dialog ourselves. We'll just add a state const open, and we'll also have set open, and this will be equal to use state, and we will invoke that, and we'll say here false. So we go ahead and save. So we'll use these two at our dialog. So scroll to the very bottom, and right here we'll say open, and we'll set this prop to be open. Then right here we'll say on open change, and we'll set open. So by this, whenever we click the X icon, this will allow the dialog to work as normal. But again, now we can use this set open to change the status of open, and the dialog will be only open when this open is true. So now we will have some control on this particular dialog. Now when I click that, we will add a form to add a room. Okay, and that form will be so similar to this add hotel form. We'll be doing so many things in a similar way, and now we'll do it in a different component. We can say that this form is now done. 580 lines, not so much. That's a good size for that component. So let's just come right here at components, and we can add another folder just to organize them, and we'll say room. So for room, we'll add a new file. We'll say add room form.tsx, just like that. Stateless functional component, and we'll say add room form. Let's just say add and save. Then we come to our add hotel form, and where we have our dialog and where we have content. So just at the very bottom, this is the dialog content. So we have the header, and I think we can do it after the header. So just after the header, we can include our component add room form, and once I do that, you'll see that that content of that particular form will be included in our dialog. Okay, we didn't import that component. Let's import it, control space, and we import it. I happen to save. So now when I click add room form, you see we have this add, which is in our new component. Now another thing that we can try to do is to make these to be bigger. If I happen to close that, you'll see we have a lot of spacing. So how we can do that is here at dialog content, we can add a class name, and for this class name we will set a max hyphen width of 900 px, just like that. And then right here we will set the width to be 90%. Also include these in the square brackets, so that in very small screen the dialog box will not actually touch the walls, therefore it will still have some spacing by saying 90% there. Then for this header, we'll actually give it a class name, and we'll set a px of 2. So I save now, and we see that this dialog will actually stretch. Oops, it didn't. Yeah, it has. Okay, it got me fooled a bit there. So this is like the maximum, but when we are on a very small screen, it will still have some spacing here because we said it to be 90%. Okay, now let's work on our form. This form will be accepting several props, and also it will be a client component. We can just say use client, and right here we'll be defining some types. So I'll say interface add hotel form props. Okay, not hotel but room, sorry. We will receive a hotel which will be optional, and this will be of type hotel, and it will also have the rooms. So it's like that type of hotel with rooms. So right here I'll say rooms to be an array of room. Let's make sure to import both hotel from Prisma client and room from Prisma client. right here we will be receiving a room, because we'll use the same the dialog or model to edit a room. So we can optionally receive a room just like that. And also we'll be having a function that we will use to close the dialog once we submit the form. Handle dialog open, and this one will be a function that returns void, so it doesn't return anything and it doesn't receive anything. Okay, very nice. So we can get those props right here. We will get the hotel, we will get the room, and also we will get the handle dialog open. We need to specify the types, so outside here I'll say add room form props. We will also need to define a schema using Zod, okay, for this particular form. Just at the top outside our component, we'll say const form schema. We have been through this already, so nothing new here. Will now be equal to z.object, and we will invoke that. We'll pass the different types right here. At the top, we will import all sz from Zod. We need to include all the properties that we added in our Prisma schema. So I'll jump into Prisma here, schema. The way we copied the hotel like this, we'll do the same for room. So right here, this time don't include the ID, I'll include title, hit Alt, and at the very end, you'll select all of them. So I'll select them like that, then I'll hold on shift, then press home. So that will select all of them, and I missed one here, city view. So Alt, click on that, then shift, then home. So I'll go ahead and copy them. Then I'll come back here and we'll be listing them like that. So we'll start at the very top, and this one will be a string. So z.string, we invoke that, and we'll give this a minimum value, so dot mean of 3, and right here we'll have a message. Now we'll have a description, so I'll just copy this right here. At the end I can use a comma, and right here I'll use a full colon and I'll paste this. So this is now for the description, and I'll set a minimum of 10, and we'll change the message to a description must be at least 10 characters long. Now we come right here to bed count. This will be a number, so we'll use this type. So we'll do the same for guest count, bathroom count. So right here I'll paste there, and we'll say guest count is required, comma there, comma here. Then this one is the bathroom, and also this one will be required. Bathroom count is required. Okay, for king bed here, this will not be required, meaning that it will be optional. At the end here, we'll say mean to be 0. I'll copy the same and use a comma there. Don't forget the commas. And we'll say the same for the queen bed. Now we have the image. Image here will be required. So for breakfast price, we'll say z.cost.number. Then we will invoke that, and we'll say that this is optional. A hotel room can have like the breakfast offer, or it cannot. But for the room price, this will be required. Very nice. Now these are the amenities available in the room, and these will be optional. So here we'll say z.boolean. We invoke that, and at the end here we'll say dot optional, and we invoke that. So I'll go ahead and actually include a comma there first, then I will copy from this full colon, and then I copy so that I can just paste them. We just paste and I save. So there we have our form schema for a room. Okay, so we need to come right here and we need to include the same things that we did with our form right here. I copy that one and we create a form here. So we bring in use form from React hook form. We bring in Zod resolver from hook form resolver Zod. Then the default values here will be for the room and not hotel. So I write everything in this particular object, and now this will be room, not hotel. I just realized something stupid I did. So these were the props that we were supposed to receive on our component and not right here. So just cut that and right here add form. I hope you realize this. Just add it here. For a moment I was wondering why this is complaining. Yeah, so we add all these like that. Then here we'll have room. Then here we'll pass the default values. So you can see the error on this other side because we didn't pass I think this one, which is mandatory. So right here we need to pass all this. We can just select them from here. So I'll say alt. So we'll need the title, we'll need description, we'll need bed count, guest count, bathroom count, king bed, queen bed, image, it's scrolling so fast, breakfast price, room service, TV, balcony, free Wi-Fi, city view, ocean view, forest view, mountain view, air condition. I messed up on this one. I don't know what will happen, but now you can click on shift then home. Copy that one, come right here and paste. This one will be an empty string. This one will also be an empty string. This one will be 0. Copy, paste here, paste here. This is also a number, this is also a number. What else is a number? Breakfast price is a number. Now this one will be a string as well, just like that. And for this one will be false, so false comma, and you can copy that one, copy, then here control V, control V, control V. All of these will be booleans. Okay, I remove the colon there, and there we go. So I save now and it aligns them nicely. So we have created this form and we have used this use form, and now we can use this form to create our fields. So it's a similar process that we did with our hotel form. I know it's a big process and so on, but we just have to do it. So I'll come back to hotel form here and we'll actually add some props to our component here so that it stop complaining. We will say hotel will be hotel. We will say handle. Actually we misspelled this function. Supposed to be a dialog. Handle dialog open. We will pass handle dialog open as well. So I'll copy this particular function and I'll paste it here. Then right here I'll just give it a better spelling. I save. Now this is complaining because of this function, so we need to create that function. I'll come before our return statement, just right here, const handle dialog open will be equal to an arrow function, and right here we'll just say set open. We get the previous state and we get the opposite of that previous state as our return, so that will toggle that state, and I save. Okay, now you see the error disappeared and we passed those two props right there. So we will pass the prop for the room when we want to actually edit a room. So in this case we are not editing, we are creating a new room.